Hello everyone, welcome back to Study Crunch. Now this is class 3 of Signal and System. Will be talking about periodic, non-periodic signals, conjugate symmetric and conjugate antisymmetric signals, their properties and examples. Let's start off by saying what are periodic signals? Periodic signals are the signals which repeat itself after regular interval of time, right? In continuous time form, it is written as x of t, which is equal to xt plus n t naught, where n is the integer and t naught is a fundamental time period. Now, what is fundamental time period? It is the smallest possible value of time for which signal is periodic. And in discrete form, it is written as x of n, where n is the integer, x of n plus mn, right, where n is fundamental time period in discrete form. So let's find out, if we have a sine theta, what will be the fundamental time period of sine theta? We know that at theta is equal to 0, we have value as 0, and at theta is equal to pi, we have 0 again. So this will be the repeating value, but t naught will not be equal to pi. Why? Because then it will be negative. We don't want negative, as we know that t naught is always a positive value. So in sine theta, it will be t naught is equal to 2 pi and not pi, right? Fundamental frequency f naught is equal to 1 by t naught, which has a unit of cycle per second or hertz. Fundamental angular frequency, which is equal to 2 pi f naught, and f naught we know it is 1 by t naught, and the signal which apart from these signal, angular frequency has a unit of radian per second. Now we have one example. We have to find out whether the signal is periodic or aperiodic. So signal is repeating at t is equal to 0.5 in this example. So at every 0.5 the signal will be repeating. Now to check whether it is periodic or non-periodic, we'll perform operation of left shift. So if we have xt plus minus t naught and t naught, right? So n we have taken as 1. If we shift it the otherwise, then also the signal will be equal. So this is a periodic signal. Okay, now we have the calculation of fundamental period. For non-composite signal, we know that xt is equal to xt plus nt naught. For n is equal to 1, we can write this equation. Now we know that xt is equal to a naught e to the power j omega naught t. After equating these two, we'll be getting t is equal to 2 pi omega naught for k is equal to 1. So here the point to note is these are non-composite signal because they have only one single value or one signal. Next, we have calculation of fundamental time period for composite signal. Okay, these are few steps, you have to remember these, and from this you can solve every question very easily. First step is you have to determine the fundamental time period of individual signal, right? If we have more than even two signals or even single signal, then also we have to find out the fundamental time period. Then in step 2, we have to find out the ratio of fundamental time period of first signal to fundamental time period of every other signal if you have more than one signal. Step 3 is to find the ratios. If they are rational, then they are periodic. If we find they are periodic signals, then only we'll move forward to these steps 4, 5, or else we'll just leave. So let's start. We have a question that is xt, which is equal to sine 4t plus cos 2t. Now we know that this is the first signal and this is the second signal. We have to find out t naught. So t1 will be equal to 2 pi by omega naught. Here omega is 4 pi sine omega t sine 4 pi t. So this will be the omega 2 pi by omega naught. So we have t1 as half. Now cos 2t. So we have 2 pi by 2, which is equal to pi. Now step 3 was to find out the ratios. If they are rational, then they will be periodic. So t1 by t2 will be 1 by 2 pi, which is irrational. So this is an aperiodic signal. So xt is aperiodic. Fine. Now let's move on to the second example. We have 5 cos pi t sine 3 pi t. So again 5 cos pi t, 2 pi by omega, that is 2 pi by pi, which will give us 2. Now we have x2 3 sine 3 pi t. So we have 2 pi by omega 2. So 2 pi by 3 pi, which is 2 by 3. Now step 2 was to find out whether the ratios are rational or not. So we'll be finding out 6 by 2, 3, which is a rational number. So this signal is periodic. Now we'll move on to the fourth step, that is to take LCM of these two. So LCM of 2 and 2 by 3 will be 2. So t naught is equal to 2 seconds. So this was how to find out the fundamental time period of any given signals. Now moving on to conjugate symmetric and conjugate antisymmetric. Conjugate complex, we have 3 plus 4 pi. So this is 3 is the real part and 4i will be the imaginary part. If we have xt is equal to x conjugate of minus t, then we say it is conjugate signal. So we have xt as original signal, x of minus t as signal after time reversal, and x conjugate is complement conjugate of xt. So if we take complement of the reversed signal, if they both are equal, then only we can say they are conjugate symmetric signals. So we have xt is equal to at plus j of bt, that is even plus odd, right? Now we'll find out by one example. Xt is equal to t square plus j sine t. We know that t square is an even signal, t square is even, whereas j sine t is odd. So this will be conjugate symmetric. Sine t plus j t cube, we know that this is not conjugate symmetric. Why? Because sine t is odd, whereas j t cube is also odd. But we in conjugate symmetric, the first term, that is the real term should be even and imaginary should be odd. Moving on to conjugate antisymmetric. If we have x of t is equal to minus x conjugate of minus t, if we have the negative equal, that is if we have real as odd and imaginary as even, then it is conjugate antisymmetric, whereas if it is real is even and imaginary is odd, then we have conjugate symmetric signal. This you have to remember. Like we have an example 2 sine t plus j t 5. So both are odd signals, so it is not conjugate symmetric or conjugate antisymmetric. Sine cube t, that is odd signal, whereas j t cube is an even signal. So we have conjugate antisymmetric signal. Now to note the point, conjugate symmetric plus conjugate antisymmetric will give us a signal, a whole signal. These are the two formulas which you have to remember. So this was all about this lecture. Let's move on to energy and power signals. Thank you.